Imagine walking into your office tomorrow and instantly seeing the invisible chessboard beneath every conversation, every compliment, every smile. What if you could decode intentions before they're spoken, anticipate moves before they're made, and quietly rise while others wonder how you did it? That's not magic. That's strategy. And today you're about to step into the mind of one of the most misunderstood geniuses of power and psychology, Niccolo Machiavelli.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound insights.
We've been taught that being good, being kind, and working hard will naturally lead to success. But history and your own experience probably say otherwise. You've seen people who are less talented, less ethical, and even less competent rise faster, get promoted, gain influence. You felt the sting of being overlooked while someone else plays the game better. It doesn't feel fair, but what if fairness was never the rule of the game to begin with? Machiavelli wasn't evil. He was brutally honest. His masterpiece, The Prince, wasn't a guide for tyrants, it was a mirror held up to human nature. He believed that power, especially in politics and leadership, is rarely gained through purity. Instead, he taught us how to see the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. And if you want to outsmart everyone at work, you must begin there. You must let go of illusions. Ask yourself, are people at work really interested in truth, or are they more invested in perception? Do they reward transparency, or do they reward confidence, even when it's fake? Do they move toward those who are the most competent or the most charismatic? You already know the answer, and that's why we must learn to think like Machiavelli. To outsmart everyone at work, you must master the art of appearances. Machiavelli said, "Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are." This is not about being fake. It's about understanding that perception is a weapon. If you don't control it, someone else will use it against you. You must shape your image with the same care that artists shape their masterpieces, because your image is your armor. Think of the workplace as a court. Everyone is performing. Everyone is watching. Every word, every email, every meeting is a moment of theater. The wise know this, and they play their roles with intention. They know when to speak and when to be silent. They know when to flatter and when to challenge. They don't react, they calculate. But let's be clear, this isn't about manipulation in the cheap sense. It's about strategic self-awareness. It's about understanding the psychodynamics of power, influence, and human behavior. People are not rational creatures. They are emotional machines with egos at the wheel. And if you don't know how to navigate that, you will always be outplayed by someone who does. Machiavelli taught that it is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. But in a modern workplace, fear doesn't mean intimidation, it means respect. It means being taken seriously. It means people know you don't tolerate disrespect, even if you never raise your voice. You set boundaries quietly. You hold your ground with calm strength. You command attention without begging for it. Now ask yourself, how do people perceive you at work? Do they see you as competent or just nice? Do they see you as someone they can walk over or someone they think twice before crossing? These questions are not about ego. They are about strategy. Because if you don't define your presence, others will define it for you. Here's a secret. The most powerful people are often the quietest. They listen more than they speak. They observe. They collect information the way a chess master studies the board. While others are busy proving their worth, the Machiavellian mind is positioning, waiting, setting traps without malice, just precision. But let's go deeper. The real power of Machiavellian strategy lies in emotional control. He understood that emotions are the easiest way to lose power. Anger makes you predictable. Fear makes you weak. Desperation makes you exploitable. The one who stays calm, who speaks last, who doesn't flinch wins. Not because they are cold, but because they are focused. This is why self-mastery is the key to outsmarting everyone. You cannot manipulate the world until you first master yourself. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Combine that stoic wisdom with Machiavellian strategy, and you become unstoppable. You become someone who can move through chaos without losing clarity. But there's more. Machiavelli knew that alliances are everything. You don't rise alone, you rise by building the right relationships. But not all relationships are created equal. You must learn to distinguish between allies and liabilities, between those who flatter you for gain and those who challenge you for your growth, between those who are loyal to your face and those who are loyal to your absence. In every workplace, there are invisible factions, power clusters, whisper networks. If you pretend they don't exist, you will become their victim. But if you learn to see them, map them, and navigate them, you gain leverage. You know who to align with, who to protect, who to watch, and who to distance from, even if you smile while doing it. Here's something Machiavelli would have said if he were alive today: never show all your cards. In work environments, transparency is often preached, but selective transparency is practiced. You must learn to reveal only what strengthens your position. Keep some of your plans hidden. Let others underestimate you. Let them assume. Because when they don't see the whole picture, they can't block your moves. Now pause and reflect. How much of what you share at work is strategy versus impulse? Are you revealing too much? Are you giving away your power in the name of being relatable? Think deeply about this. Because oversharing is often a mask for insecurity. And insecurity is the spotlight that invites exploitation. In a Machiavellian mindset, every interaction is data. Every reaction is a clue. You begin to see patterns. You notice who interrupts in meetings and who stays silent, who supports your ideas and who subtly undermines them, who wants your success and who fears it. The more you see, the more you can predict. And prediction is power. But none of this works without clarity of ambition. Machiavelli was clear. Your goal defines your actions. If you want power, you must be willing to do what others won't. Not unethical things, but uncomfortable ones. Having difficult conversations. Saying no. Walking away from fake friendships. Standing firm when others fold. That's what separates players from pawns. You must also understand timing. The Machiavellian doesn't just act, they act at the right moment. They wait when others rush. They strike when others hesitate. Patience is their secret weapon. Because they know that in the long game of influence, it is not the loudest who win, but the most precise. Now ask yourself, are you reacting or are you positioning? Are you playing the short game of daily survival or the long game of strategic ascent? Think carefully, because the game is happening whether you see it or not. And if you ignore it, you will be played by someone who doesn't. But here's the twist Machiavelli understood better than anyone. Power without purpose is hollow. Outsmarting everyone is meaningless if you don't know why you're doing it. Is it for status? For revenge? For validation? Or is it for something deeper? To build, to lead, to protect? You must define your why or the game will consume you. So let me ask you a question that could change your entire trajectory at work. What kind of power do you really want, and what are you willing to become to get it? If you're still here, it means you're not just curious, you're serious. Serious about mastering a game most people pretend doesn't exist. Serious about rising without selling your soul. And perhaps most importantly, serious about becoming the kind of person no one sees coming, yet no one can ignore. That's where we now go deeper, not just into Machiavelli's mind, but into your own. Because to outsmart everyone at work, you must not only understand others, you must first master yourself. Machiavelli believed that fortune favors the prepared. He wrote, "Fortune is a woman, and if you wish to master her, you must strike and beat her down." While the language is provocative, the meaning is clear. Opportunity does not wait for the hesitant. At work, fortune comes in the form of sudden openings, a promotion, a new project, a leadership vacuum. The Machiavellian mind doesn't wait to be chosen. It prepares long before the opportunity arrives so that when it does, there is no hesitation, only execution. You must be strategically proactive. This means identifying the key power nodes in your organization, who really makes the decisions, who others defer to, who controls access. It's rarely who you think. Titles don't guarantee influence. Often the assistant, the project manager, or the quiet veteran has more power than the person with the corner office. You must learn to see power not as position, but as leverage. And leverage exists wherever people are dependent. Ask yourself, who is dependent on you right now? What do you provide that no one else can? If the answer is unclear, you are replaceable. And if you are replaceable, you are vulnerable. The Machiavellian strategy is to make yourself indispensable not just in output, but in relationships. You must become the person others come to for clarity, for solutions, for stability. That's how you build silent power. But beware, competence alone will not protect you. In fact, it can be a threat. Machiavelli warned that the first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him. In the modern workplace, this means that insecure leaders will surround themselves with people who won't outshine them. If you're too good, you risk becoming a target. So what's the strategy? Hide your sharpest edges. Let others underestimate you. Be excellent, but don't always show your full capacity. Let success appear effortless. Let your competence speak softly, while your ambition stays hidden. The loudest ambition often dies first. But the ambition that moves in silence, that ambition rewrites the rules. Remember this, most people are not playing to win. They're playing not to lose. They're driven by fear, fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of being exposed. The Machiavellian mind understands this. It sees fear as a map. If you can identify what someone fears, you can predict their behavior. You can influence their choices. You can position yourself as the answer to their anxiety. This isn't manipulation. It's emotional intelligence sharpened into strategy. If you know your manager fears being outperformed, you don't challenge them in public, you support them in private and let them take credit when needed. If your colleague fears being left out, you invite them into your circle, but on your terms. You are not reacting emotionally, you are responding tactically. But the greatest Machiavellian move is this: mastering your shadow. Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." Your shadow is everything you deny in yourself: your jealousy, your ambition, your desire for recognition. Most people suppress it. You must integrate it. Because once you understand your inner darkness, no one can use it against you. This is where true power begins, not in the outer game, but in the inner confrontation. You must ask, where do I sabotage myself? Where do I shrink to be liked? Where do I project my insecurities onto others? These are not soft questions. These are tactical inquiries. Because the more you master yourself, the less anyone can control you. Let's talk about conflict. Most people avoid it. They fear confrontation. But Machiavelli saw conflict as inevitable and strategic. He said, "It is better to act and repent than not to act and regret." In the workplace, this doesn't mean being aggressive. It means being assertive. It means choosing your battles wisely, and when you engage, doing so with clarity, calm, and consequence. Never enter a conflict without an exit strategy. Never argue just to win an ego contest. Every confrontation should be designed to advance your position, protect your value, or expose a truth others are ignoring. And never forget, sometimes silence is the most powerful form of conflict. When used at the right moment, it creates pressure others can't handle. Now let's address one of the most overlooked weapons in the Machiavellian arsenal: detachment. If you are emotionally entangled in outcomes, you are easy to manipulate. If you are desperate for approval, your power is gone. Detachment doesn't mean apathy. It means clarity. You do your work, you play the game, but your worth isn't tied to the scoreboard. You can walk away, and that makes you dangerous. People sense when you don't need them. And paradoxically, that's when they respect you most. This is the anti-neediness effect. At work, the person who needs nothing holds all the cards. They can say yes or no without panic. They can negotiate from strength. They don't chase, they attract, because they've already built value within. And this brings us to loyalty. Machiavelli was clear: loyalty is conditional. Not because people are evil, but because they are self-interested. Your job is not to expect loyalty, it's to create conditions where loyalty is mutually beneficial. Be useful, be consistent, but never be naive. Trust slowly. Verify everything. And always be ready for betrayal, not with paranoia, but with preparedness. Who do you trust at work? And more importantly, why? Is it because they've proven themselves over time, or because you want to believe they're safe? Deep question: would they protect your name when you're not in the room? Would they sacrifice their gain to support your truth? If not, they're not loyal. They're convenient. And Machiavelli would tell you to act accordingly. Now, let's talk about influence. Influence is not about control. It's about suggestion. It's about planting ideas in ways that make people believe they came up with them. The best ideas are not forced, they're invited. You must learn to speak the language of each individual's ego. Some want praise, some want power, some want peace. Your influence depends on your ability to adapt without losing your core. To do this, you must become a mirror. Reflect what others want to see, but only enough to guide them toward your vision. This is subtle. It requires emotional nuance. But once mastered, it makes you magnetic. People will follow you not because they have to, but because they feel seen, understood, and empowered. Machiavelli also warned against complacency. He believed that power, once gained, must be maintained through vigilance. The moment you relax, someone sharper will take your place. At work, this means constantly refining your skills, studying your environment, watching for shifts in culture and politics. The game never ends. And the moment you think it does, you're already behind. But this doesn't mean living in fear. It means living in awareness. When you build systems instead of habits, when you cultivate allies instead of friends, when you choose strategic silence over constant noise, you are no longer playing checkers. You are playing chess. And most people don't even know the board exists. So here's a question that cuts to the core. If your current behavior doesn't change, where will you be in 5 years? Are you climbing or coasting? Are you building long-term leverage or just surviving day to day? The Machiavellian mind is always 10 moves ahead. And if you're not thinking that far, you're already losing to someone who is. You must define your legacy before others define it for you. You must ask not just, what am I doing? But what does this position me for? Every task, every relationship, every choice is a seed. Are you planting weeds or are you planting trees that will give you shade in the future? Remember, real power is not given. It is taken not by force, but by foresight. You must see what others miss, hear what others ignore, know what others forget, and above all, you must act when others hesitate. Because in the end, the one who outsmarts everyone at work is not the loudest or the most liked. It is the one who sees clearly, moves quietly, and never forgets the rules of the game because they're the one writing them. You've made it this far, which means you're not looking for surface-level advice. You're not here for productivity hacks or corporate cliches about teamwork and synergy. You're here because you've tasted the truth, that the workplace, like all human arenas, is a game of power. Not brute power, but subtle, psychological, strategic power. And if you don't learn how to play the game, you'll be played by those who do. In this final part, we go beyond tactics. We go into legacy, purpose, and the ethics of power. Machiavelli never said you must be evil. He said you must be prepared. He believed that a leader who is only good will be destroyed by those who are not. So what does that mean for us? It means we must develop a dual nature. We must appear virtuous, and where possible, be virtuous, but when virtue becomes a liability, we must be willing to use necessary force, not cruelty, not deception for its own sake. but strategic adaptability grounded in awareness. This is where most people fail. They cling to one identity. They say, "I'm a good person," and when confronted with betrayal, manipulation, or office politics, they freeze. They don't know how to respond because their self-image doesn't allow them to play offense. But the Machiavellian mind is fluid. It doesn't identify with being good or bad. It identifies with being effective, adaptable, conscious, and in that flexibility lies its strength. Now let's go deeper into psychological warfare, not to harm others, but to defend yourself and elevate your position. One powerful principle Machiavelli would whisper into your ear if he were alive today is this: control the frame. In every meeting, every negotiation, every conversation, there is a frame, a context that defines what's important, who has authority, what the rules are. If you do not define that frame, someone else will define it for you. And once the frame is set, all logic, tone, and outcomes flow from it. Let's say you walk into a conflict. If the frame is "you're the problem," anything you say sounds defensive. But if you shift the frame to "we need to solve a structural issue," you become the person focused on solutions. You take power not by force, but by redefining reality. This is not manipulation, it's leadership. Because those who define the narrative shape the outcome. So ask yourself, how often are you controlling the frame? How often are you walking into rooms already positioned as the underdog, the subordinate, the outsider? And how can you begin to shift that, not by demanding respect, but by commanding it through presence, clarity, and strategic positioning? Presence matters more than most people realize. It's not about charisma, it's about energy. When you walk into a room, do people feel you? Do they sense you're grounded, composed, aware? Machiavelli would say that presence is your silent army. It communicates competence before you speak. It tells people you are not to be underestimated even if they don't know why. But presence is not built in a day. It's built through discipline, through self-respect, through mastering your emotions, your posture, your tone, through knowing your value so deeply that you don't need to prove it. The less you chase validation, the more it comes to you. And the more you command yourself, the more you command the room. Let's talk about silence. Silence is one of the most powerful tools in the Machiavellian arsenal. Why? Because silence creates space, and in that space, people reveal themselves. They fill the quiet with their fears, their motives, their insecurities. When you speak less, you learn more. You observe more. You see what others miss. Silence also creates anticipation. When you pause before answering, others lean in. When you don't respond immediately to provocation, you gain control. Silence is not absence, it's presence magnified. It says, "I'm not reactive, I'm calculating." And that's terrifying to those who are not. But let's be honest, power is intoxicating. Once you begin to understand these strategies, it's easy to become consumed by them. That's why we must ask one final, essential question. What kind of power do you truly want, and what kind of person do you want to become by getting it? Socrates said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." The same is true for unexamined ambition. If you gain influence by losing your values, your soul becomes the price of your promotion. But if you use power to protect, to build, to elevate others while elevating yourself, then you become something rare. You become a wise leader in a world of blind ambition. This is where Machiavellian morality intersect. He never told us to be cruel. He told us to be real, to see human nature without fantasy. But once you see it, once you see the politics, the games, the masks, you have a choice. You can become a tyrant, or you can become a master of the game who plays for something bigger than ego. So what is your mission? What are you building? What will people say when your name is mentioned in rooms you're not in? Will they say you were cunning but cold? Or will they say you were strategic and unforgettable? Real power is not how many people you command. It's how many people you influence without ever needing to raise your voice. It's how you move the invisible threads of an organization with quiet precision. It's how you become the person who doesn't just survive the system but reshapes it. To do that, you must think long-term. Machiavelli was obsessed with legacy. He knew that power gained too quickly often collapses just as fast. So you must build like an architect. Foundation first. Relationships next. Reputation always. Every word you speak, every action you take is either a deposit or a withdrawal from your influence bank. Are you investing in your future self, or are you draining your account for short-term wins? Now let's end where all truly powerful journeys end, with humility. Not the fake humility of self-deprecation, but the grounded humility of someone who understands the weight of influence. When you have power, you can help or harm. You can open doors or slam them shut. The Machiavellian mind, matured by experience, knows that restraint is often more powerful than domination. You don't always need to win the argument. You don't always need to prove a point. Sometimes, letting someone else feel like they've won is the ultimate power move because you've already won the war before they even knew a battle existed. So here's the final challenge. If you want to outsmart everyone at work, don't just study strategy. Become it. Don't just react to the game. Redesign it. Don't just chase success. Define it on your terms and then execute with precision, patience, and purpose.